Well, as one Jim DeShays told you before we hit commercial break, the Cubs with 15 hits tonight, banging the ball all around the ballpark in the nation's capital. And it started with that man right there, Pete Crow Armstrong, getting all 108 stitches on that pitch to the tune of 412 feet. And then Ian Happ, this one, well, if you're familiar with the D.C. area, that one pummeled to the Vienna Station. The D.C. Metro Public Transport, it's remarkable, just like the way these Cubs have been swinging the bat as of late. So with that said, pull up a chair. This is Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Yuengling, America's oldest brewery. Cole Wright, Elise Menaker in tow, and wow, that was a big one. The Cubs 8-2 over their last 10, and being able to hammer down victories in series, that's all you can really ask for.
Well, it's just kind of on par with what we were saying. After this team gets shut out, they come back. They get hits, they get knocks, they get runs.
They get the over, too.
Yeah. You know what? Why'd you have to go there so soon?
Well,
I wanted to go with
we hit the same game parlay.
Anyways, we're not mad about it. We're fine. I've totally moved on.
Okay.
But anyways, yeah, it was a really good game. No, I think all in all, to get the scoring going early, good defense. I mean, the pitchers today, 1 strikeout, so they're really relying on their defense and just getting the job done time after time.
Wins ball games, and so do long balls from Ian Happ. The Cubs now 6-0 in their last 6 series finales, and Happer certainly a tastemaker in this one. We saw that ball he hit to the moon, Elise.
Yeah, so he has been, slowly getting back in the groove since coming off the IL. I think he's finally finding his rhythm. I mean, I say finally, but you go through this in the season, right? And so let's show you in this game what he was doing really well. Mentioned the scoring going early. Well, PCA got him on the board with the Bombski. Ian Happ, just a good at bat here. So you've got Jake Irvin, he's got the curveball. The one swing before the hit, it's on the curve, but good takes. That's what I really liked. And then a cutter misses in, and Happ drives it. So just good, aggressive swing, scores a run, RBI double. Say good slide. There we go.
Violent swing, aggressive on the base pass.
I just really like the way he keeps his hands in and just attacks. And this is basically the same pitch. It's another cutter that just misses almost middle. Happ aggressive, just really in sync, good timing and flow. You see what I'm talking about? Just that rhythm with the pitcher. And look at the pitches, almost identical spots, same pitch, cutter. And so to the lefty, going in, and Happ does something with him. So, especially with Ian Happ at the top of the lineup and just what he's been able to do. And hey-o!
It's funny that RBIs were not an official statistic until 1920. A lot of guys, I'm sure, who would love to have some of those attached to their final line. That was a big one. Ian Happ banging the ball around the yard, like we said, 3 hits, 4 steaks, and that's part of the reason why he's catching up with Taylor McGregor. Go, you two.
Thanks, Cole. Ian, how close to yourself did you feel tonight?
Yeah, it felt really good. Just a bunch of good swings tonight. And being able to handle a couple different pitches and hit a couple cutters, then to get that sinker in the last at bat. Just good swings all around. Keep building on that.
What went into the work building up to this point after the IL, trying to get your timing back?
It's just every day. Every day trying to get it right, trying to get that timing, that feel, and it's tough because when you're not on time, the mechanics break down, and you think it might be that or it might be the timing, and so trying to get in a position where I feel comfortable to hit, and I got there tonight.
Describe the play to get Hassel at second, what you saw.
Yeah, Nico and I have done that a lot. We haven't had a lot of opportunities this year yet. Just getting in the vicinity, Nico with a great tag. I mean, he does that so well. Go grab that ball and get to the bag really quick. It was awesome.
How good is this group defensively?
Yeah, I think you saw it today all around. The play Tuck made, Pete running down balls in center, a couple other tough plays by Tuck, the infield defense. Just really suffocating, and I think that when our pitchers are in the zone and dominating like that, it gives us a leg up.
Thanks, Ian. Cole?
Happer, T-Mac, good stuff. The defense, it was impressive, but Happer, he was impressive all game long from start to finish. We saw him early in the second as well as in the ninth, and for a guy to maintain that dominance throughout the consistency of a ball game, that's what you want to see from a guy like Happer.
Yeah, so at the plate, we were just highlighting what he did today in the last 5 games, a .375 on base, 4 extra base hits in there, and a .966 OPS. So he's finding his groove again. The outfield, always Mr. Reliable. He had that outfield assist. You're just kind of passing it around out there, I guess, in this game. But this is what I'm talking about. I mean, you just make the plays, right? Like I mentioned, the pitchers today had 1 strikeout, so the defense behind them is working. At the plate, Happ is just being himself, really attacking, aggressive, good tag by Nico.
Absolutely.
And then the Bombski. So I just really like, there's never a panic in him. He's very in control and knows exactly what he wants to do, what he wants to work on. He's patient with himself, understanding the ups and downs of a season. And more often than not, he's finding consistency these days.
Very methodical in that leadoff spot. And you see right here, there is a method to his madness. Pulling even with our guy Dexter Fowler, 30 home runs from that top spot since 1906. Still has more than a few to catch up with Alfonso Soriano.
It's a big deal. The Cubs have been searching for a leadoff hitter for a long time, and we've talked about Pete Crow Armstrong and maybe being in that slot, but the way that Ian Happ has showed up and really solidified himself in that role, I think it's a big deal. There's the argument that when you hit leadoff or like batting order doesn't have that much of an influence because it's just about having the best lineup because once Happ is leadoff, he starts that game, well, you're going through the lineup and maybe, he's not leading off like every inning, right? I think there's something to be said about when you lead off the game and you're leading your team and you're in that spot and you know who you're hitting behind and just you take ownership of that. So I like what
he's the surveyor. He's the one who gets to let everyone know what that starting pitcher is like. And pitch recognition, that's Ian Happ's thing.
And just as a team, you're like, yeah, Ian's leading off. He's our guy. He gets it going. And that's why, to me, there's that intangible factor. No, I can't measure it. Can I prove it in some analytics that, no, because it's just about what he's doing at the plate offensively that makes him. But I do think just something about the presence, who that guy is. Don't tell me in 2016 that Dexter Fowler, he was a guy at the top, right? He mattered. And so that's how I always see it. I think if you look at World Series champ, there is something to be said about it. Just a solid leadoff guy. Yeah,
it's like the skipper in Major League. I tell you, I got a hunch he's due. And that's how Craig Counsell felt about Ian Happ every time he puts him in that top spot. And how about these Cubs? The fourth time all 9 starters register a hit. That's tied for the most in all of Major League Baseball. And you talked about PCA potentially in that leadoff spot, but his ability to drive in runs.
Right now, just leave him. Leave him.
Wherever he wants to go at that current day, because what he's able to do, certainly remarkable right about now. We saw him once again put that power on full display in the first.
Yeah, I feel like we're all waiting because the question is, can he sustain it? Because it's surprising us so much that it's but wait, is this really who he is?
16th pump of the year.
Right. And so someone called that.
I say he's going to hit at least 20. I don't know. I mean, these are only 4 away from that, and we're only on June 6th. Not even.
I don't know who that was, though.
Someone.
But he continues just to do a great job. I love the way he swings the bat. I've never really had a problem with it. Oh, you have something to say.
What? Today for PCA.
Yeah, so you're all over that always. We're calling him charcoal.
No, charcoal, not
charcoal.
You're like, oh, those are black batting. Those are charcoal.
I mean,
a gray hue.
Details,
That's
sir.
What they have
all right, they're new batting gloves.
Well,
see, actually, those were the ones he used to have to prove our point in the picture. Yeah. Okay. Now we have to update the graphic.
We'll have to ask T-Mac if she can go down there and do a little digging on PCA
the
and the batting gloves, because most home runs as an outfielder this season, Corbin Carroll with tons of pop, and very slight of size, but same goes for PCA. A lot of people at the beginning of the campaign would not have imagined that a guy who's 175, maybe 182 on his heaviest day to have so much buggy whip through that zone.
Yeah, he looks stronger to me, though. This year I keep meaning to ask him about it, but yeah, and I think there is something to be said that when you're you know what you want to do at the plate. The pitches that you want to swing at. There is no hesitation. I think that's a big thing, too, because we've seen him hit balls that are on the outside corner that he pulls, that are nearly at his shoelaces, if not at his shoelaces, and he hits it out. And so I love that idea that, when you talk about a pitcher, you need to throw with conviction, be decisive with that. I feel like that's what he's doing with the swing. Yeah, because you can't doubt yourself. You have no time. And the minute you do that, you're out, you're gone, you're overthinking it. You're so out of the at-bat at that point. So there's a freedom that he's playing with and a confidence that he's playing with that I think he's just found a groove. And at this point, this is him.
Would you agree with this comparison if you had to liken Pete Crow Armstrong to a football player from years past? I'm going to go with Terrell Owens. Terrell Owens, when he wanted the ball and he didn't get it, sometimes a little demonstrative. When Pete doesn't get the right swing, we see him toss that helmet, maybe throw the bat down a little bit because he knows what he's capable of when things go his way.
Yeah, I think always that's where it's coming from, the emotion that we see. He's been a good player his entire life. And so when we see the frustration, it's that he believes, I think, that when he told me in the outfield, I can catch every ball.
Everything.
He says, I'm delusional. I really think that. But I also think that's an attitude that he has at the plate where he believes that he is a good enough hitter that he can hit almost any single pitch. I don't even mind that attitude. Honestly, you should think that.
If you don't think you're the best, then guess what? Nobody else will, right?
Yeah, and so that's why, and I like the way that Craig Counsell described it, where he said it's a road less traveled to be the type of hitter that PCA is showing right now, which is where you are that bad ball hitter, right? There's not many hitters that we can talk about in the past, if any, really, who are doing what PCA is doing or did that throughout a career. So I think that's why everyone's kind of waiting to see what adjustments will be made. I think that adjustments will be made, but they don't have to be made yet.
Okay.
And so it's just a matter of when the league adjusts to him. But when you can't hit the balls that he's hitting at the plate, what do you do?
Safe assumption that PCA is in a Robert Frost state of mind. Two roads diverged in a wood, and he's taking the one less traveled.
Cole.
Okay,
that was exactly
PCA.
what I was thinking.
Okay,
yeah,
there's
definitely.
one Ivy League student on this desk, and one of us just dropped a Robert Frost reference. So you just decide there. Cubs with 15 series wins.
I was watching the Summer House reunion earlier today.
Major League Baseball, they are a team on a mission, and we showed you during Cubs Live just what they would do if they won again tonight. Yep, the active streak feeling pretty good right there with those pinstripes. You know, both of these teams absolute juggernauts as far as the Major League Baseball landscape is currently concerned. And we know the Mariners currently have Cal Raleigh, who is putting on a hitting display. But Karen is feeling good. This team is special. This season has been a pleasant surprise. So pleasant that Karen hopefully does not call the manager on that one. Now, we'll tell you more about this ball game, 7-1. The Cubs coming out on top with a 6-run victory. And like we said, 6-0 in the last 6 series finales. They're 16-5 over the last 21 games. And that is certainly the feather in the cap of Craig Counsell. We're going to show you highlights plus hear from the skipper. That and more. It's next.